Hey, it's Rachel Cooke, your modern mentor. I'm the founder of Lead Above Noise, a business designed to help companies craft amazing employee experiences and run leadership development programs that activate change. Also, apparently a business whose name mystifies many. You know, the process of naming this business felt a lot like naming my kids. Like a baby, you bring a business into the world and you imagine it all grown up, and you ask yourself, who do you want it to be? And what name best captures that? And then you explain to Aunt Bertha why you have not named it after her. My goal in birthing this business was really to help leaders and organizations see that the fastest path to success was paved with focus and intention, and not crowded by meetings and crises and general busyness. You know, all that noise that is constantly clamoring for our attention. But focus and intention require real discipline to understand what's important and what's not, and to proactively make choices to weed out all of the extras, the noise. Only once we can see it can we rise above it and lead ourselves and our teams toward impact and purpose. Easier said than done. Noise is loud and powerful, but when we know where it tends to hide, we're better positioned to spot it and shut it down. Today, let's talk about some of the most common sources of noise that I see around me and how we can start to rise above it. The first is head trash, and I've named it kind of harshly, but I call them like I see them. Head trash is indeed the garbage that gets in your head that tells you very convincingly things that aren't true, but that leave you feeling awful. It's a power player in holding you back from doing the thing that most needs your attention. You know, maybe you're a product manager overseeing a product with a small but rabidly loyal fan base, and you're striving to get this product into more hands. To achieve this, you know that you should either apply for that promotion, which would give you oversight of more products you could bundle this one with, or you need to pitch the idea that could really springboard this product to the next level. Either of these moves would help amplify your impact. But that head trash is saying, you can't apply for that promotion, you don't have enough experience, or you are not yet the public speaker you need to be. Or, that's ridiculous, your boss will sooner LOL than throw their support behind your idea. If this is resonating with you, do not feel bad. You are in good company, because every one of us carries a version of this voice with us. The funny thing is we can usually see someone else's head trash for what it is, false and ridiculous, but our own manages to disguise itself as truth. So next time that voice pops for you, just pause and name it. It is head trash. And then ask yourself, is what that voice is saying indisputably true? Do I have the facts to support that? And if not, because almost always you do not, what's another possibility? What if your boss hasn't mentioned that promotion to you because he doesn't think you're interested, but he is actually really hoping you choose to apply? What if that idea is exactly the ingenuity that your company's been looking for? They just didn't know you'd locked it up inside of you. Listen, maybe you're not ready for the job and maybe your idea isn't the winning one, but there is only one way to find out. So let that head trash go and do the thing. Next up, we've got fire drills. What I mean is this. You have a clear goal to achieve and you've planned your day intentionally around the actions designed to get you there. But then something urgent pops up, a frantic email, an urgent request for data, a meeting that just appeared on your calendar. Next thing you know, your day is over, and you've achieved 2 of the 6 things you had planned, but you've addressed 14 unexpected issues. Listen, I live in the real world. Surprises, emergencies, they arise, but they should be the exception, not the rule. These are fire drills, and boy, are they noisy. Your job, the path to leading above this noise, is to address these fire drills head on and distinguish the true emergencies from other people's failure to plan. The latter is not your problem to solve, but it is yours to call out. My friend was recently complaining that her boss, Scott, does everything last minute. And as a result, she's often getting these frantic emails and requests. Can you whip up this slide, or can you get me this data? And always the timeline is ASAP because whatever it is, it was due yesterday. So she scrambles, she gets him what he needs, and then she ends up missing deadlines of her own. And this is not okay. She has since talked to Scott. She explained how his choices are impacting her and the organization. Candidly, Scott had no idea who was creating such a headache, and he has since committed to doing a weekly review of his upcoming presentations and giving her a minimum of 3 days' notice on anything he might need from her. It's early days, but so far so good for both of them. Fire drills are often avoidable with a little bit of planning. The next one is aimlessness. And this is the thing that happens when we know the outcome we want to achieve, and we know what we need to do to achieve it, but we don't want to do it. This was my noisiest noise in the early days. I'd have a program I wanted to start selling, and what I should have been doing was calling colleagues to get feedback, or calling prospects to start selling. But what was I doing? I was designing slides for the program I had not yet sold, or watching other people's programs. Lots of time-consuming things keeping me fully distracted from the things I knew I should be doing, but just didn't want to be. On your end, maybe you want to build some momentum around your product idea. What you should be doing is having coffee chats with subject matter experts or practicing your pitch. But instead, you are procrastinating. Taking online courses that are great, but you know this stuff already. What you need to do is hit that gas. Let go of the noise and go do the hard thing. The last one is self-importance. And I saved it for last, but truly it's the noisiest of all the noises. It is the stuff that keeps us busy, that constant flow of emails and Slacks and texts and back-to-back meetings. And we let it because we conflate busyness with importance. But being constantly in demand is not a sign of how important we are. It is actually, and here's a tough love alert, a signal of our own lack of discipline. To say no, to bow out, to claim our lane and stick to it. So what can you do, and what permission do you need to start opting out of rather than into these things? What can you delegate or postpone or just completely let go of? Remember, your value is not in how many hours you exert, but in how much impact you create. So what will get you there and what won't? Call out your noise and lead above it. Join me next week for another great episode. Until then, visit my website at leadabovenoise.com if your organization is looking to dial up its employee experience. You can follow Modern Mentor on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow me on the Modern Mentor podcast page on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening and have a successful week. Modern Mentor is a quick and dirty tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Dan Farabend with script editing by Adam Cecil. Our podcast and advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. Our digital operations specialist is Holly Hutchings. Our marketing and publicity assistant is Davina Tomlin, and our intern is Cameron Lacey.